Yarışmamıza başlayalım.
Well, a very big welcome back to day 5 here at the Baku 2018 World Judo Championships. The judo so far can only be described as incredible, and there's plenty still to come. The capital city of Azerbaijan plays host to a magnificent event. Japan dominated the first 3 days. The rest of the world, though, are now chasing for titles. Can they break the Japanese stranglehold? Well, it looks like they might. Sheldon Franco-Rooks joins me in the final block on day 5 here, and he will now introduce the first contest on day 5.
A very good afternoon, Neil, and a very good afternoon to everyone there at home. The first of the repechage contests features Kalita Zupancic of Canada. She's up against Yuri Alvear of Colombia. It'll be Zupancic in the white judogi, Alvear in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Lubomir Peter of Australia.
Well, I was just having a little look at their head-to-heads there, and 6-1 Alvear is leading on their head-to-heads. Zupancic of Canada obviously wants to put that right. That one contest that she won, she would like to put right here, because without winning this contest, these are repechage finals. Without winning this contest, they do not get a chance of fighting for a bronze medal. So these repechage finals means that they have lost at the quarterfinal stages, and so they have to win this repechage final then to fight a losing semi-finalist. And well, Zupancic against Alvear. Alvear so experienced.
They've probably gone head-to-head quite a few times in the Pan American region, because that's where, you know, the likelihood of them having come up against each other on a more regular basis is. But it was Zupancic who lost out to another Pan American, Maria Perez of Puerto Rico, in the quarterfinal, and Arai Shizuru it was who downed Yuri Alvear at that stage.
Well, Alvear is a 3-time world champion, so she performs well on this stage. We don't see her that often. Look at that, though. Zupancic there, straight in Koshi-Guruma, and she takes her over for a wazari. The 3-time world champion there, straight the way over.
Sleepy, wasn't she?
But you know what? I think that's a really good observation, I mean, because they're coming out here. We say about the first fight, in the morning, you've got to be switched on. First fight here, when you come out here, you've got to start all over again. So now she's got to go to work.
Kind of ambushed her there early on in the contest. Good lead by Wazari.
2 wazaris will win an ippon, will get an ippon, and it'll be all over. An ippon by itself, of course, throwing your opponent flat on the back. That wasn't quite flat on the back. That was just on the side, the upper part of the body making contact, and that enabled her to get the wazari, and she was pretty close with that one too. And Alvear, a little bit out of sorts here.
That shot in the crowd there showed one of the best ever Neowaza specialists. There was a group of 3, and on the far left was Ishikawa Megumi, one of the greatest ever exponents in Neowaza at 57 kilos. Terrific. She would have been so good with this rule change.
You have pointed that out before, you know,
yeah.
and for the people out there that don't know, what's happened is there's now much more time being given for groundwork exchanges. It means that we can build certain techniques, develop the techniques, and the referee, as long as it is developing, will allow it to carry on.
And the fact that a Shido or 2 Shidos won't end the contest in normal time means that the fighter who is interested in Neowaza, who's a Shido or 2 Shidos down, doesn't have to run when the clock is running out. They don't have to stand up. They can continue in Neowaza. Unfortunately for Ishikawa, that came after she'd finished, and the same goes for Hashimoto Yuki of Japan in the under 52 kilo category. And speaking about people who like Neowaza, Kalita Zupancic. Absolutely
Zupancic
loves
does,
it.
doesn't she? She likes to go down to ground, and the thing is, I was kind of smiling. She threw the three-time world champion Alvia, who's not looked at her absolute best today, but she threw her almost at the beginning of the contest, and that's one of those situations where you think, oh no, now I've got to hold on to this, and it's all about holding on as best I can. But she is doing a good job here, and here she is in a strong position here. But I tell you, Alvia physically is just so strong.
2 minutes left, so we've got half the contest still to come. Single Shido picked up by Zupancic, so there's no real problems at the moment. However, if she picks up a second, then she'll be
well, it's going to be in trouble, isn't she? So it means that she can't flop onto her face without using the hands to control. It means that she's got to stay within the yellow area. She can't just walk out. And it means that she can't just pat her opponent's grips away. And that might just be a Wazari for Alvia. Yeah. So that's evened it all up. So that's thrown a cat amongst the pigeons.
Just as she goes down here, she's got the hand on the leg, you know. And I think she's thinking about taking the left hand off the leg to avoid the penalty. And in that exchange, just, you know, she wants to. It's just a natural reaction, isn't it, to drop the hand down there? Who did we see almost try Teguruma yesterday or something?
Well, yeah, we've seen a couple of them, absolutely. Well, Alvia has climbed right back into this match. Zupancic here, she is struggling just a little bit, and she's gone into a negative mode. You see the arm out there, so no score for Alvia there. Another Wazari will just finish the contest outright. Zupancic, though, has got to come forwards. It's still there to win this contest. Now then, she might have turned that. She had no hands, and that is why she hasn't got the score there. She thought she'd turned it. Alvia came in for the technique. She thought she'd turned it, but it wasn't quite there. No control.
The lower half of the body was all about Zupancic turning that. She had the leg hooked in, but as Neil said, when the two elbows came, you know, it's when you look to protect yourself that you have to say you're not in control of the technique. Almost got tipped, as Neil likes to call it.
Well, it is, isn't it? It is a tip. It's using the hands in order to just change that point of balance. We see a lot of scores with it. Second penalty up there. And Zupancic now has got to make sure that she doesn't make one more mistake. One more mistake would give her a third penalty, and that would be all it. That would be it.
It's funny because I don't think Zupancic has looked as though she's run out of energy at all. That hasn't been the thing. What's happened is Alvia has looked that little bit sharper, just better in the attacks and more into the contest.
I think that's exactly the way she's doing it, isn't it? She's actually working her way back into the contest, and that little lapse at the beginning of the contest really was, she went in cold and she got caught cold.
Oh, that was a nice little coach in there, almost came up with a score.
She nearly did, didn't she? She just drove off that back leg there.
You see the bruise on Stephanie Tremblay's chin. She was wearing that from attempted shimmy-waza the other day.
Well, I see quite a few of them getting up, and you know, they'll feel it in the morning. They're little war wounds, that's for sure.
Both players picked up scores in regulation time. Zupancic, however, picked up the 2 penalties. So going into golden score, you know, the force is with Alvia because she is penalty free.
Yeah, she just needs to pile on the pressure now, Alvia. And Zupancic, well, she just needs a score, I think. I think she needs to really up the ante, take the fight to Alvia. The 3-time world champion just digging in here.
Just get the feeling that when Zupancic gets in really close, Alvia doesn't mind that chance for a pick-up. The Renagi, perhaps.
Yeah, look at the power in Alvia's arms. Well, I never like to hear that, people shouting for the Shido. You know, we want to see them settle this with a proper score. That means gripping up, not letting go, when they attack.
Thought about the Ashi was there, didn't she?
She did. Now then, oh, she's lost it. Alvia takes the Panzik down.
Power.
And she did, didn't she? She overbalanced. Thought she had to attack, and that's exactly what she did. And Alvia will go through to fight for third place. Stepancic, well, what can I say? She really gave it her all. It looked right at the opening part of the contest as if she was going to steal this.
Few times fighters have got themselves into bad positions. It's the initial step into the attack, and all of a sudden you find out I'm in the wrong place here. You know, I'm too high or got my arms in the wrong place, and then the opponent is in the perfect position to take it over.
Yes, this lady always on the big stage. She never does too many Grand Prix or Grand Slams. You don't see her out very often. She comes to the big events and she always performs. And, well, Stepancic is on the IJF circuit, that's for sure, winning consistently at the highest level. This was the Wazari that actually brought it back so that it was all even. But then Stepancic went for it and gets tipped flat on her back. It was a technique, well, she knew as soon as she started to move, I think, and certainly Alvia just takes the leg, she controls the upper part of the body, and look how she just rotates her and guides her onto her back. Brilliant stuff from the Colombian. Swept the outside of the leg almost against the knee. See, it was a pretty close one.
A bit of a tap.
Yeah. Alvia goes through then.
If ever there was a more quiet and reserved and someone just creeps up on you than Alvia, I haven't seen one. Right, coming up next, the second of the repechage contest in the under 70 kilo category. Sally Conway of Great Britain faces Ono Yoko of Japan. It'll be Conway in the white judogi, Ono in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Kostini Balos of Hungary.
Well, the Olympic bronze medalist, Sally Conway, here again, still in the game, still fighting for another major world medal. She'll have to win this match, though, against Ono Yoko of Japan. And she's 2-0 up, Ono, over Sally Conway, but at this stage now doesn't mean too much, does it? Because it's a different match altogether. The British contingent up there, ready to shout her on. What a good-looking crowd, eh?
And a big,
Dennis Stewart.
Man, yeah.
Dennis Stewart, world Olympic bronze medalist in 1988 in Seoul, and fellow teammate of myself. Sally Conway, she's 32 years of age, Sally Conway, and really just having a lot of success in her later, no, I'm not saying her later years, but her later competitive years. I think it's safe to say that. She won't mind me saying that.
No,
likes to go down as well to the Newaza.
Because you've said that she's having success. I think she'll be happy with that.
That's what I meant, Sally. When you play this back, it's definitely what I meant. Sally Conway in white. Oh no, Japan in blue. Japanese had two representatives in the under 70 kilos category, and the other one is in the semi-final against Perez. That's Arai Shizu, also of Japan. Well, I think that Sally Conway will want to take Ono to the floor. She nearly made the same mistake there. Sally Conway came in, not fully committed, almost got foot swept. Balance wasn't quite right, just managed to stop herself going on her side. always a strong fight for the grip. The grip, so important in judo, it really is. Because if you dominate the grip, you dominate the contest. You can almost direct it if you have the grip. I remember some people saying to me, you know, what's all the pecking at the jackets and stuff like that, but it isn't pecking at the jackets, it's trying to get the dominant grip in order to attack.
Got two world champions in the chair. Kate Howie on one side and Ueno Yoshio on the other. High quality coaching staff.
It's quite a high quality event though, isn't it? It really is. So now on top, Ono. Wasn't really any conviction there but from Ono. I don't know if she really wants to mix it with Conway down there. Conway has a really good arm lock. She likes to go for the Jujigatami. 4 different ways of winning in judo, just to throw your opponent on the back or on the side to get a score, but on the back finishes it, and 20 seconds for a hold down, arm lock or strangle for a submission. Well, this is pretty even, isn't it, so far? I would say that Ono probably the closer to just countering. Oh, she just stops herself. Wow, that was really, really close there. That was, well, just teetering on it, wasn't it? It really was, and good ashiwaza from Ono, but just manages to stop herself going onto her side there, no score. And I think if Ono had just put some effort there into the tewaza, which is the gripping, then she would have probably taken her onto her back, but it didn't happen. Sally Conway breathes again. So I think now it's definitely up to Sally Conway to take the initiative here. She needs to just make sure that she does the attack first, gets the attack in first. Easier said than done, because she's being driven backwards all the time. Real support there, both for the Japanese and for the British. World and Olympic bronze medalist Sally Conway. Now, good feet from Conway. Good combination. This is where she wants to be. She'll try and flip it for the Jujigatami. Kept it tight there, didn't she, Ono?
Just for a second you thought you might have a sniff of a chance of the shimiwaza, but all the turnover from there. There's a turnover as well that Conway works on. Last few seconds, penalty free, no score. Golden score beckons, I think.
I think, you know, we're just looking at the way today's gone. We've seen some really hard matches. I think the first 4 days we saw some unbelievable ippons. We really did. And today we've seen some interesting matches and fights. I can honestly say they're fights, you know, they've been hard and brutal.
Well, I think during the route to this repechage contest, Ono has had the more physically draining of contests. She hasn't always, you know, looked on the best form, so it's possible that she will be worn down quicker than Sally.
Well, playing the edge there, Ono just taking Sally Conway to the edge. You can't step out, you can't push out either, so there's a very, very thin dividing line.
In particular, her contest with Anna Bernholm, Ono Yoko's contest with Anna Bernholm. That was a right bruising battle, that was.
Yeah, well, like I say, I've seen quite a few of them today, but really interesting matches. You know, not necessarily big scorers. Oh, that's it, is it? Oh, is she going to score on that? Well, that score has gone up. That was Ari's score.
They may have another look at that.
We'll have a look at it, and
he's in a good position here. He's in a better position than we are, and he's had a look at that, and there's not going to change. They're not even going to stop to look at it. So
no.
Because of the position that he's in, I'm going to go with him without even seeing it, only because he's on the right side.
Well, I think it's on, you know, it has to land on the side for it to warrant a score. And if it does land on the side, then that's it, that's all over. You know, there are people that would like to see it probably more predominantly side, but, you know, the thing is, at the moment, this warranted the score that wins the contest. Sally Conway will not be fighting for a medal this time, and certainly Ono of Japan will. So it was a good match. It was a bruising battle. We can have a look at it now, look at the landing. Uchimata, she had real good control of that arm, and this is what they're saying now as far as the arm is concerned, keeping control of that arm and making sure that it's pulled through. She has the sleeve grip. Sally Conway's side touches the floor, and was Ari there for Ono. It was the first really big technique that looked anywhere near anyway, wasn't it? Sally Conway didn't even fight it.
Well, we come now to the first of the semi-finals in the under 70 kilo category. Maria Perez of Puerto Rico faces Arai Shizuru of Japan. It's Perez in the white judogi, Arai in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Mariano dos Santos of Brazil.
Well, Perez was the world silver medalist from last year. She had a really slow start, I've got to say, Perez here. She got a bye through to the second round automatically. Fought Canon of, Canon, just one of the smaller countries out there, and she gave her a really good fight, and Perez had to pull out all the stops to go through to Portela, the world #1. Now, Portela gave her a better fight as well, and in the end, though, Perez managed to beat her by Ippon. Perez then fought Sipanzik to go through to this semi-final match, and Arai Shizu, the reigning world champion. Well, what can we say? It's 4-0 up on their head-to-heads, and she's got to be favourite, but Perez can pull it out the bag.
A repeat from last year then. Perez and Arai down 4-0, as Neil said.
This was the final last year.
Last year, yep.
So this was the final last year, now in the semi-final here. One of the reasons it's the semi-final here, you think the world champion, world silver medalist be on opposite sides, but it's down to world ranking. And the world ranking of Perez is down to 13. Doesn't do all of the Grand Prix Grand Slam events. So her world ranking is lower than you would expect. And there's Abe and Takato, two world champions from the first and second day of competition from Japan. Absolute brilliant judokas.
Yeah, you don't want them for your first two practices in the round
really.
or in the
No,
club.
not
Yeah.
really. I'll give that one, especially at my age now, I'll give that a definite body swerve.
Practice? Oh, no thanks.
Well, they're your weight, you know what I mean? You'd be fine. Perez with the only real proper attack, that Cianagi there, had Arai up in the air. Now, Arai starts to go to work. Has a good left Uchimata Arai, and look at the grip that Perez has got on that sleeve. That could work to her advantage. It could also work against her. If she keeps it pinned, she will get a penalty for it.
Yeah, once she's got hold of that, there's very little that Arai can do. She's tried to pull away and break the grip up a couple of times, but it's also, as Neil said, important that Perez uses it.
Well, with the passivity as it is now, you can't just pin the sleeves down without doing something. But the advantage of the grip fighting is that you use the grips in order to pin and then get a reaction. So action, reaction, so important. This is a tight one. 2 minutes in, no score, no penalties. I think also Perez was, for me, a surprise finalist last year. I thought she fought very, very well, but she was a surprise finalist. And she's here now, and I think she'll want to prove that it wasn't by luck.
It's a little bit like Alexander Vidzicak. We were chatting yesterday after, he took the bronze medal, and he said one of the biggest things that he wanted to do was to show that last year's podium, albeit, as the number one, was not a one-off, and he could repeat that, and he certainly did, because he came back and he was on the podium 2 years in a row on the world stage.
On the world stage, yeah, absolutely.
And it could be for Perez again.
Well, she doesn't look comfortable there, Arai, does she? That's the first time we've seen her in. Change direction there, in for the Uchimata, and then change direction for the Ouchigari. That's the first time we've seen her in there for the Uchimata. Well, it's Ippon. She's been given the Ippon. I thought it was Ari, but she's been given the Ippon. It actually hit the ground with quite a thud. Well, it means that Perez will have to come down and fight for third place now. So that silver medal from last year, and being a finalist, that is not possible now. Arai goes through.
Well, Perez, did incredibly well when you think that being ranked number 13 in the world, she didn't come here as one of the seeded players, because we only seed the top 8. So she wasn't seeded. She ended up beating the number 1 seed Maria Portela in the 3rd round, and then Kalita Zupanjic to put her in this in this semi-final. So she beat the 2 seeded players in her pool before losing to the world champion there. So, as Neil has said, it's down to the bronze medal contest for her, Arai, into the final.
That was the change of direction there. Look how she pushes off the back leg, straight onto her back there, and uses the hands in order to drive. Look at the Uchimata first, starts in, drives out, and, well, she goes onto her back there, doesn't she? Perez then will come back down here to fight. I think it's Alvia for the bronze medal.
That's terrific awareness, because there's so many parts of the body that have got to change shape in order to make sure that you end up being able to put your opponent flat on their back. It's feet, it's your knees, your hips, the top half of your body, and then the hands to guide. Right, coming up next, the second of the semi-finals in the under 70 kilo category. This features Marie-Eve Gahi of France. She's up against Asma Niang of Morocco. It'll be Gahi in the white judogi, Niang in blue. Neil, you like to talk about head-to-heads?
Well, 3-0, yes. It's 3-0 to Gahi. But for me, Gahi is the one in this category that is really coming up to, really establishing herself and starting to look a little bit like Adbeg is in her category, and I think that she could really cause Arai a lot of problems in that final. I really do. Niang, strong fighter, and whatever you do, don't underestimate her. And I'm sure that Gahi isn't going to underestimate her. She knows her well. They've already fought each other 3 times, but I do believe that she's going to be too strong. And also, she's been on good form all the way through. Conway, she beat to get through to this semi-final. She beat her in the quarterfinals. She beat Burt of Canada, and she beat Prokopenko of Russia.
The referee in the middle for this one is Frank Dirch of Germany. For me, it depends which Asma Niang turns up. Is it going to be the cagey, you know, backing off, and you know, or is it going to be, I'm going to go out there and smack you over? And I think she's just going to be too wary of Asma Niang to go out and try and blast her away. Wrong tactic with Gahi.
Yeah, I think once they get this initial first bit of grips over with, and oh, that's a bear hug. That's an absolute bear hug. They're going to call this back. She's going to get a Shido Niang straight away there for doing a double bear hug. Immediately, she went with both arms around the back.
I'd look to see where the left hand
Well, I would.
Well, the only reason I say this is because she was on my mat earlier on, and I thought, that's a bear hug. Watch this. She's got a hand on, and then she goes for it.
Yeah. Well, that was a very quick hand on, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Because it certainly caught me out. You're not allowed to just go as if you're doing a rugby tackle. You have to have one hand on before you do it.
Now, I'm gonna say that the funny thing here. I think she does rugby tackle them, but what she does is she's just outfoxed us as far as the rule is concerned. The rule is you must have a hand on. So she says, okay, here's the hand, and now here's the bear hug. Well, you know, you've just found a way around the rule because it's still direct. This is nothing. She just pops the hand on, and from there, both hands go round. Clever kid.
Well, yeah, we did talk about that, though, about the, you know, touch and go. And so they'll be keeping an eye out anyway, you know. But anyway, one penalty up there to Niang. Gahi just ahead.
There's always someone. What doesn't matter what rule you have.
Bend the
they'll
rules.
bend the rules. And she was very clever. I mean, the score that she came up with before, when I saw it, I thought, that's a direct bear hug. When they showed it, she had a hand on, and then she goes. It's so quick.
I'm not too sure. I'm just thinking, looking at the Shido up there, I'm not sure what it was for, because if that situation had been all right, she would have scored.
And the other thing was, I'm not sure if it was. We can have another look at that because they never
we'll have a look at it.
It's going to be all over anyway.
This is it, isn't it? Gahi is holding it now.
Yeah.
She's in the hold down, and Munigatami, the hold down. I don't think she's going to let go of that. So Gahi just works her way on top. This world semi-final, it's all over, and Gahi is in there against Arai.
So it's all academic about the bear hug, and a softer entry into an Osai Komi you couldn't hope to see.
Yes,
you know, there wasn't any real work that Gahi had to do to get that. You didn't see it develop, you didn't see it come in or anything, just slipped in there, gone.
Good performance from her, and just looking really as if it could be, couldn't it? Grand Prix, Grand Slam, it could be any tournament really. This is semi-final of the World Championships. Gahi is through to the final. And you can tell by the demeanor there that she really did expect it.
Yeah, and that's where I thought it was going to go. She's just too strong. And you were talking about someone looking like Agbegninu. Well, this is who's got that kind of focus, determination, drive, and self-belief. I think she just believes that it's going to happen.
Well, this is what led to it.
Okay.
Sumagaeshi there, and a failed one. A guy, he just went round the legs straight in. So Niang made a mistake there. Came in, no conviction. Gahi just ties up the top half, slides around the legs there, says thank you very much, and that's it.
She was playing second fiddle for a while to Fanny Estelle Posvit of France. But I think after this, she's in the driving seat.
Well, I think so, and, well, family up there in the audience just thoroughly enjoying themselves. So we have an Arai Gahi final. Should be interesting.
Coming up next, the first of the repechage contests in the under 90 kilo category. Nagasawa Kenta of Japan faces Komransho Ustapirion of Tajikistan. It'll be Nagasawa in the white judogi, Ustapirion in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Raul Camacho of Spain.
Well, Nagasawa, I thought he was going to go the whole way, and it was Silva Morales of Cuba that stopped him in the quarterfinals. And I can tell you that Silva never let it go. He never stopped. He was relentlessly coming forwards all the time. Silva Morales just wore him down. Nagasawa, in the end, couldn't perform his beautiful judo, and so he had to let Silva Morales go through. But Ustapirion and Nagasawa, completely different styles. Totally different styles, and both big throwers. So something should happen. Be interesting to see how it goes.
Well, here's another fighter, the Japanese Nagasawa, who has had to grind it out today against, first of all, Ushangi Margiani of Georgia, and then against, as Neil has just said there, Silva Morales, Ivan Felipe Silva Morales. Both of those contests went way into golden score, and they needed that extra time. So I don't know how much that takes out of a fighter, but if you've had a couple of hours break, you'll at least be fresh for part of your next contest.
Well, I think this is going to be a contest of two halves. Either Ustapirion is really going to cause him problems here, or I think that what'll happen is Nagasawa will just wait his time, and then he'll be able to perform his technique here. But Ustapirion definitely in the first half of the contest is so much stronger than he is in the latter part. Physically and more dangerous with the techniques as well.
Yeah, he hasn't spent nearly as long as Nagasawa on the mat today. And I'm not sure he'll be happy about that, because he's not known for having the best condition.
I think a lot of the reason is because of the pure power from their particular style. You know, the amount of power that you are using all the way through it, and you just, you know, the energy goes, and as far as muscular endurance is concerned, it goes away from you. Uchimata, that's the danger there, Nagasawa, and then as soon as he hooks in and then gets some kind of rotation, that's when Ustapirion will be in trouble. That little Sorikumi Goshi as well from Nagasawa. He does it on the right, he does it on the opposite side. So Ustapirion will try and block him out for as long as he can. Well, the gripping strategies are such that obviously very keen to get a good hold of the jacket, sleeve, lapel sleeve, sometimes over the back, that you're going to have a clash. Sometimes the face gets it first. Looking for the Uranagi. Now then, what's going to happen here? He just decided not to there, Nagasawa. Well, you'd kind of expect Ustapilian to be doing that that uranagi technique there, counter-attack, taking your opponent backwards, but it wasn't quite to be. He kind of, he went halfway, Nagasawa, and thought, no, I think I'll bother. Uchimata! Oh, Uchimata there, Ustapilian. Ustapilian said, well, if you're going to try the uranagi, I'm going to try the Uchimata. And this is what we've seen all day. It has. It's a really interesting fight. There's no score on the board. There's no one penalty up there to Nagasawa now. 3 of those Shidos, that Shido is indicated by that little yellow flag there on the board. 3 of those, it's all over. So Nagasawa can't afford any others. And that's going to be one for Ustapilian. Ustapilian just went outside the area. Just trotted out. Can't do that. Got to stay in the yellow. Wow, good match. Still think it's going to end in a score. Now then, Uchima! Oh, big Surigoshi. Well, he gets a Wazari for it. I want to see the landing.
And again, if I look at where the referee is and where our camera position is, I've got to go with the referee. I haven't seen the replay, but he's in the right position for this.
Well, again, you know, these are the scores now. They've been landing on their side there, but he went onto his back as well. It was a good score for sure. So Nagasawa ahead. So what a time for him to get a score, eh? It really was. Wazari on the board. Nagasawa beats Ustapilian, and Nagasawa will be going through to fight for 3rd place.
The winner and in the bronze medal contest for Japan, Nagasawa Kenta.
There's the big Surigoshi. Kind of felt all the way through the contest that something was going to happen. Looking for the Uchimata, leg up the front, but he decides just keep both legs on the ground and using the hands, that big left arm over the back there, and the Suri, or pulling movement of the hand there, just projects his opponent right the way up and over. Can't get a better example there of Surigoshi. Brilliant stuff from the Japanese. Nagasawa then will be fighting for 3rd place. Lots of surprises in the under 90 kilos category.
And here's one of them coming up now. Edward Trippel of Germany faces Ashley Gonzalez of Cuba. And before we do too much of the introductions, unfortunately, Ashley Gonzalez picked up an injury. So Edward Trippel of Germany comes out. Says one of the surprises because Trippel this morning was responsible for putting out Pekka Kviniashvili, the Georgian, wasn't he?
I didn't see the match actually. I was on a different match.
But it was down on mat. Down on mat 1, and I was on mat 3. But I looked across there and thought,
well, Trippel has been doing well in the Grand Prix, Grand Slams, really doing well, and a really good up-and-coming fighter.
Coming up next, the first semi-final then in the under 90 kilo category. Ivan Felipe Silva Morales of Cuba faces Axel Clerget of France. It'll be Silva Morales in the white judogi, Clerget in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Nedim Beyat of Turkey.
Well, I can tell you now that Axel Clerget, will not stop coming on. He is just going to be giving it 1,000%, you know, and he is one of these fighters that never stops coming forward. He's been on great form all day. Silva Morales has been doing the same. So I think that they're just going to have a battle here. This is a battle. I'm sure that they'll be doing some judo techniques will be in there roundabout. They will be in there for sure, but it's going to be a fight. It really will.
He is relentless.
Yeah, he is relentless. I remember the first time I saw Silva Morales, it was in the World Openweight tournament. They made one for all weights, and he got to the third round. He was fighting the heavyweights, the big lads, and he was fighting them brilliantly. Everybody was behind him. And, well, Clerget, we're just used to his battles. We know that every time he steps out, he goes to war.
Yeah, he has incredibly quick hands, feet, and his transitions from Tachiwaza to Newaza are really amazing. One single slip, one chance that he has, he will put you away.
Well, just about to say his favourite technique, of course, is a Yoko Tomonagi, which is a side sacrifice throw there. But he won't be able to keep plugging away with that. If he doesn't break the balance of his opponent, he will get penalised for it. So he'll have to be a little bit careful with that. Tried the Ouchigari there, Silva Morales, and Clerget just said, no, I don't like that very much, and almost swept his foot away. It isn't all about the grips, but it's also about the feet as well, putting the feet in the right place. So that's what he's got to be careful of. He really cannot afford to do that again. You can see that they have the hands and the fingers all taped up. That's to stop them coming off, actually, partly. It's to stop, literally, all the joints get pulled because of the gripping and the ferocity of the gripping. So sometimes you need a little bit of support. Well, more than a little bit.
Clerget just got some support there. They didn't penalise him for that drop. I thought that was a drop. He gets caught there, though.
Yeah, he did get caught. That's a Wazari, isn't it?
Well, I think the referee just wants to have a look at this. Was that Tewaza or not? There's no big scream or shout, but I fancy having a look at this. If I was Silva Morales, I'd have been screaming at the top of my lungs.
Well, this all depends now as to whether Silva Morales used his hands.
I don't think so in the end.
Was it something that Clerget was doing? Was he attacking? I think if they can't decide as to whether Silva Morales actually projected forwards and controlled it with the hands, what they will do is they'll just carry on. They won't say anything. I think they'll just carry this on.
Yeah, there was a moment when I thought, no, there's nothing in it from Silva Morales. And then there was another look.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
They've given him a nippon.
Yeah. And then there was another look, and I thought, well, yes, what Clerget is saying is right as far as his attempt at Ashiwaza. Yes, and you were going back. What he's not taking into consideration is the hand movement from Silva Morales. Now, we will get to see it again. So there are two things here. One, first of all, he does have a Setemiwaza attempt coming up. We know it's ineffective. We know it's ineffective because in the end, Silva Morales takes it over with his hands. Now, this is really an opinion here. Is there enough of Silva Morales with the hands to say force and control? Force and control.
Well, exactly, and it will be a contest that will be looked at. But you know, I can see exactly what they've done. And, you know, for me, look at the legs here. This isn't just about the hands. Look at the legs. Look how he changes the legs there. And he pushes off with the legs, he gets forward projection, and also is using the hands at the same time. And this is, if he hadn't have done anything with the legs, then I would say, no, don't give anything. And it wasn't a technique by Silva Morales. But Silva Morales definitely pushed off with the legs there.
So that really convinces me. The pushing of the legs, the other thing that gives it away. There are two things that gives it away. Look at the face of Axel Clerget. And at the end, he knows he's had a look over. He's already looking, oh no. He knows that he's on the receiving end of an action because he can feel it. He can feel that action.
No, a really good decision, I think, by the referee supervisors and everybody up there, you know, because he really did push off those legs.
The second semi-final features Tot Christian of Hungary. He's up against Nicolas Sherazadishvili of Spain. It's Tot in the white judogi, Sherazadishvili in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Mathieu Bataille of France.
I don't think Toth has had a good run through, but he's still in the semi-final of the World Championships. So he had a good performance. I was talking to him actually a couple of weeks ago, said that he was coming back after injury and he wasn't sure whether he was going to do the last Grand Prix tournament. Did it and won it, and this was actually in Budapest. But he's here now on not the best of form. This man here is on great form. Sherazadishvili is on great form. Christian Toth here, not on the best of form, but he's going to lift his game absolutely for sure for this world semi-final.
Sherazadishvili came in this morning as the number 3 seed.
Well, he's quite a bit shorter, Christian Toth. And because he originally came up from 81 kilograms, he used to fight at 81s. And we all thought, well, he's a bit small for the category, but he quite likes it because he can get underneath his opponents, and he's had a lot of his success here at under 90 kilograms.
Sherazadishvili caused a bit of a stir when he put out Mikhail Igolnikov of Russia this morning. There was a crowd silence, quite a few Russians in the crowd hoping to see Igolnikov do the business. That didn't happen.
Well, he was the junior world champion, wasn't he? That's right. Well, it's interesting to see Sherazadishvili there trying to take advantage of throwing from him standing and the opponent being on the floor, because as long as one is standing, then you can still execute a throw. And of course, there's a lot more transitioning now from as your opponent's starting to come up, you can still do the technique. And he's using it. Look at the stance there of Sherazadishvili. It says Toth looks to be having a real problem coping with the power there. Gets a Shido. Like I said, he had great form this morning. Sherazadishvili, probably the best form of his life, but he is the most consistent. He's got the world #1 standing, which means that with all the Grand Prix Grand Slam tournaments, he's had the best results. Well, really, Toth in trouble here. We don't want to see matches decided by... was that the Georgian there? Oh, yes, of course it was. Yeah. Well, Sherazadishvili, you know, let's just point it out that originally, of course, he's always fought for Spain, but he has Georgian roots, of course.
Yeah, there are two camps here screaming for Sherazadishvili. One of them, they're all Spanish, and the other group, they're all the Georgians.
Yeah, he's
And
got a lot of support up there, hasn't
And
he?
there are plenty of them here.
Doing everything right here, Shirazdashvili. And Christian Toth really finding it difficult to cope with the difference in the height and the difference in the length of the body, the hands and the legs of Shirazdashvili.
He's got a long reach. There's the Spaniard. Oh, almost got past the arms.
That's
there
where he
underneath.
wants to be, isn't it? Toth wants to be in close there, and I think that's where he was injured before. Toth, Christian Toth, had a rib injury. I think he's just tweaked it again. Shirazdashvili says, I don't care, let's get on with it. Big arm round the back. That's not what he wants there, Toth. Playing the perfect tactical match here. The Spaniard.
He just outgripped him.
Well, he's outgripping him, and, you know, we don't want to see it decided like this, but Toth will get a second penalty for sure. He's just dropping to avoid anything that Shirazdashvili is doing.
Half a minute left to go. 2 penalties picked up by Toth. Shirazdashvili clever at the moment without really having to go for it.
Yeah, he hasn't got close, has he, Toth? Not even close. Now he has. Oh, now it just goes to show, doesn't it? The first time that he goes in. Sianagi, that was the best chance that Toth has had. Beautiful drop Sianagi right the way between the legs. Well, that definitely shook up Shirazdashvili. So into golden score, and he has had to plug away all the way, hasn't he, Toth? He really has. Ground it out.
That's what Shirazdashvili is trying to avoid. Toth getting too close into him and really shutting him down. His arms are outstretched. He tries to keep as much distance between him and Toth as possible until the time that he wants to launch an attack.
Now he has the grip on. Needs to use it. Wow, he's just attacked, Toth. No way that he can get a third penalty, not yet. And I'm talking about the crowd there shouting for it. This is what we don't want, is we don't want them shouting for the penalties. We want them shouting for the ippons. So now it'll be all about digging in here now. 5 minutes of really hard work so far. And now it's up to Shirazdashvili to do something himself. So he gets a penalty now. Just starting to struggle a little bit now. It's Toth coming forwards. This is a contest of two halves, isn't it? Oh, that was close. Toth coming in there. Well, variation of the Uchimata. And he tries it again. They're going to have to dig in now because one more penalty there up to Shirazdashvili, and it's going to be anybody's match. It is anybody's match now. Certainly Toth has come back into this. Well, he dominated certainly the first half, if not the first three quarters. Now, that was close as well, almost. And there was an exchange there, and Toth was almost in trouble. We've seen this all day. It's been one of those categories where they've had to grind it out, and really, everybody really loving this. 2 minutes into golden score. Any score on the board, and it's all over. Sarandashvili is in the final. The world #1 now has a chance to prove and to show everybody that he can win a major title. Well, that was absolutely superb. It really was a hard fight. Toth wasn't quite on top of his game, and, well, he came back into the match. Did that go the way that you thought it was going to?
No. Sarandashvili showed a few things there that tell me that he's matured, that he's a thinking judoka, and he carried out the tactics perfectly there. He avoided getting close in. When Toth got close to him and wrapped his arms around, he was always able to keep away. He's not the most aesthetically pleasing of athletes at that weight, because he is tall, he's a bit lanky, and he's a bit rangy and everything. But what he does well, he sticks to. He closed Toth down, and when the time came for Toth to get close, because he had to, that was the way that Toth was going to score.
It was the only way, wasn't it? It was the only way he was going to score. He got very, very close to that CI the first time. And you know what? Sarandashvili said, you're not going to get that close this time. And he closed it down. Look how he closes it down there, takes him backwards, and Toth knew that it had gone.
And if there are two people who've got absolutely beautiful low Marotti Seoinagis in this World Championships, one of them is Toth Christian, absolutely beautiful. The second is Ashley Gonzalez of Cuba. I mean, amazingly, lightning fast. But the problem with that is everybody knows. Yeah. Everybody knows, and they're just waiting for it. And that's the result. He knew it was coming at some stage. As that movement, he's looking to take it over.
Yeah, well, he just closed it down, didn't he? Sarandashvili there just taking him backwards onto his back for the score.
We've seen all of the repechage contest and semi-finals now in the two weight categories that we've got to bring you today. That was the under 70 kilo category for women and the under 90 kilo category for men. The thing that we've got left now are all the medal matches. Every weight category has got a moment of friendship just like that. The two finals yesterday and the day before, and the day before that. They're all so close. This IJF Judo World Tour has brought the fighters much more closer together. It's been more personal, I think.
Yeah, I just did an interview for Serbian television, actually. We were just talking about what makes judo so special, and I said, it's more than just a sport, you know, and I know that we use that all the time, but it is.
We come now to the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 70 kilo category. Yuri Alvear of Colombia faces Asma Niang of Morocco. It'll be Alvear in the white judogi, Niang in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Veli-Matti Karinkanta of Finland.
Well, Alvear, one up. They've only fought once before, and Alvear was the winner, but this is totally different here. So we will we'll be looking at these two. Very similar, actually. I always used to mix them up, Alvear and Niang, and similar kind of fighters. So we should have a really hard match on our hands here in this under 70 kilos category. Three-time world champion coming out, wearing white, Niang. she'll know exactly what she's got to do. Well, they've both got the same stance, so that's why I used to get them mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, physically about the same kind of height, and because you do get differences. I mean, look at Top and Sherazadishvili. You're not going to mix those two up. Completely
True.
opposite ends of the
No,
height
they are,
scale.
aren't they? They've got
but
similar
yeah,
stances,
yeah.
and I always used to get them mixed up. But Alvia Niang, of course, both of them, very tentative. They're going to have to grip up here. They will have to come forwards, and they'll have to do it. They'll have to throw caution to the wind. Here they're going to get penalised. So around about 45 seconds normally. It can be sooner than that. 45 seconds is just a time period, but if you're absolutely blocking out within 20 seconds, you can get penalised for not attacking. It's intention, really, that's the key. A little bit of blood here on Alvia's face. Well, the crowd absolutely loving this World Championships. This World Championships, I've got to say, has been one of the best ones that I've been to. It's the first 4 days from a technical point of view, and I say that every final or every semi-final was producing some of the best ippons that I've ever seen. You know, fantastic stuff, great judo. But today it's kind of produced the fighting part of our sport, and a little bit of tactics, of course, thrown in for good measure, but the fighting part's been fantastic. I loved it. Most lonely place in the world when you stood out there in the middle of that mat, waiting for your opponent just to step out. They've just had a Shido, don't forget, so they are going to have to grip up now. They can't just spar. It's not sparring, and they can't just play pitter-patter with the grips. They're going to have to grip. So Alvia gets one hand on. Niang just breaks the grip off. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. The pitter-patter with the grips. I'll give them about another 5 seconds, and they'll stop it here. Well, not even 5, and they're going to get one each here now. And it's Niang that gets it. It's Niang, actually, that is the negative one. She's the one that's just not allowing Alvia to get the grip on. Now she decides that it's time, and she gets a score. Look at that. Niang takes Alvia over. Well, Sumigeshi movement, and watch the rotation. Gets good rotation, good control with the hands, and that was the first time she had 2 hands on. So now one Wazari on the board, and it's Alvia. Oh, Alvia does it. Oh, Sodagari there. And, well, Niang says no, no, no, but it was absolutely there. Niang has thrown it away. She just went to the wrong place at the wrong time, and Alvia, oh, Sodagari there, and another world medal for her. What an ippon. Oh, Sodagari, over the top she goes.
Yuri Alvia has been picking up World Championship medals for nearly 10 years. And Niang was saying, no, no, no, I can't believe this has happened, as opposed to, no, no, no, I don't think that's a score.
Oh, it was definitely a score.
It was a score, yeah.
It most definitely was. So Niang started it off. I mean, she had to grip up. She did the Sumigeshi on Alvia, gets a Wazari. and the world champion, the past world champion, three-time world champion, suddenly decides that she's going to go to work.
Yeah, why not? 2009, I remember seeing her take the gold medal in Rotterdam and just shocked everybody.
Was she happy with this bronze medal? She came off there, I think, used to having the title of world champion, I think.
Well, oddly enough, that's exactly the same face that she had when she came off at the World Championships in 2009 when she won the gold medal. So I think that is her winning face.
I think that Alvia was planning to do the same movement, and that's why she went, no, no, no, because she was thinking about it. As she starts the move here, this is when she hooks around the leg there. Alvia hooks around for the Osoto. And, of course, definite ippon. Absolutely. Yeah. Timing is what it's all about here. It wasn't much of an Osoto, was it? She caught her on the move. And actually, the sweetest techniques happen when you catch them on the move.
Just a little knockdown.
So beautifully taken, beautifully timed. And Alvia gets the bronze. And what can you say? Niang there made a mistake. So a good performance from the former world champion, showing absolute consistency at the highest level.
Right, coming up next, we've got the second of the bronze medal contest in the under 70 kilo category. Ono Yoko of Japan faces Maria Perez of Puerto Rico. It's Ono in the white judogi, Perez in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one, if I can't see from here. It's Yevgeny Raklin of Russia. The cameraman had our position covered there.
Another good bronze medal match here. Perez, the silver medalist from last year, will have to pick herself up. She lost in the semi-final this time. She lost to Arai Shizuru, the world champion, the current world champion, the defending world champion. And it was Arai Perez in the final last year, but anyway, Arai came off the winner again. She's in the final against Gahay of France. But she's going to have to come down here now and fight Ono Yoko of Japan for this bronze medal. We were all surprised, really. She did just so well to get to the final last year, Perez. Can she do it again? This time, get another medal in a consecutive World Championships. Well, I wonder what they're chanting up there in the crowd there. I think I have an idea. Great support, and a lot of people here. Remember, it's Monday, it's not the weekend. Still got a lot of people in this stadium. Straight away on top there, Ono, looking for the groundwork. Well, we know she can surprise people, Perez. She has good technique, but she likes to do it off the dominant grip. And I think if anything lets her down here, it'll be the fact that she's being gripped as well. Normally superior with the grips. Oh no, they're all over her. Possibility of two of the Japanese fighters in the under-70s on the rostrum. They can, every country can put 9 fighters in the men's and 9 in the ladies. 7 weight categories. That means you can double up in 2 of the weight categories. Your strongest weight categories, if you've got depth in those weight categories, you can put 2 people in, and that's exactly what the Japanese have done here with Arai and Ono.
Ono just having to wait whilst Perez has a little bit of blood just wiped away from the mouth, I think it is. Just took a bit of a whack to the mouth. Yamagishi Emi on the camera for the Sumitomo team. Under 48 kilo category, former competitor for Japan. They've had plenty of them.
Yeah, so much depth,
choice.
you know, absolutely. And so far they've had an incredible World Championships. They really have. Lighter weight categories, we knew that they were going to dominate, but now there's a charge, of course, two medals, 2 gold medals yesterday, not of Japan, which was good, one of Iran, and the other one was yesterday
in the under 63 kilo category.
And France, of course, yes, in France.
Don't want to hang around there for too long.
No, Perez here trying to defend and shouldn't really do that. Well, did she make her way out there? That was purpose, wasn't it? Purposely, yeah, making your way outside, and so obvious as well.
Yeah.
Surely she's going to be penalised for that because, I mean, she just made her way out there. I mean, that is the same as stepping outside of the area or
Sarah Rodriguez.
Running outside of the area.
Sarah Rodriguez picked up a penalty for exactly that. And there you go. Just. Yeah.
And he does. He gives the penalty for it. Not allowed to do that. She was nearly in the stands then.
Looked like a crab, didn't she? You know.
She was nearly up there with those people.
A little over 2 minutes left to go. Single Shido picked up by Perez. No score yet in the second of the bronze medal contest in the 70
now
kilo.
Then, that was a massive Cianagi on the other side there. Ippon Cianagi, Kate Canaveral. That's what that was then.
Miriam Roper, this is one of her
teammates.
Well, close in the region. Close in the region. Perez in Puerto Rico. And Miriam Roper in Panama.
Not far away then.
No, just up the road. Oh, Makikomi, but failed. Fell flat on the face.
Yeah, bit of a face plant. And now she's trying to point out that Ono is across the face, but better to get on with it. She's going to make a mistake down here, that's for sure. The referee's letting this go on, and she's going to be mistaken in a minute for tapping out.
Yeah.
Ono just going to work. She's not bothering what Perez is doing from underneath there. Perez just needs to get herself out of there.
Perez is not going to be best pleased with the referee there because she was screaming blue murder that was across the face.
But the thing is, it's not up to them to referee the match, is it? You know, I mean, you can point it out. You've got to be careful that you don't keep pointing it out and indicate that you're almost submitting, you know, which it looks like, doesn't it, sometimes?
That group from Mitsui Sumitomo, one of the companies here. That's the one on the other side from Komatsu.
Well, just to explain that these companies sponsor the athletes, and they sponsor them with job positions and also money, and many of them have a dojo of the, you know, a judo place of rest, a dojo.
For training.
Yeah, for training. And this is how they support their workers. Can't be bad, can it? Different system in Japan. They have a university system. They also have the very famous Kodokan, of course. And their police are very strong as well. So they have probably nearer to 1.5 million people practicing judo. So coming up then to the last minute of the first 4 minutes. Just one Shido there to Perez, and Ono all the time on her back. And I think that if Perez is going to lose this, it's going to be on the ground. The world silver medalist just absolutely being taken to task. She gets a second penalty there for not attacking. It's Ono all the way, and Perez has got to take the initiative here. But she is capable of doing something that will get a score.
Just waiting for the shock. The nice thing is there is no score, so Perez can feel free, except if she does that. Come on.
That's all over. Do you know, that is, at this level, this is for a bronze medal at the World Championships. Perez has just walked out of the area, literally just drifted out of the area, and she's going to receive a third penalty and lose the bronze medal. She is a world silver medalist.
And she's a regular on the IJF Judo World Tour. She's escaped here. She's really dodged a bullet because there was no threat from Ono as far as an attempted throw. She really got lucky there. And she's wandering off to that area again.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was really, really lucky because if they'd have given that third penalty there, I don't think anybody would have said anything.
Got to come up with an attack now.
Golden score, and Perez of Puerto Rico has a second chance. She really does. Ono has to push forwards. And she's gone to the edge again, and all the time drifting there, hoping that something's going to be safe, that it's going to save her.
There's two other directions for her to go, left or right. Just don't go, you know, straight backwards. That's a little bit different because you may say that there was some Ashiwaza in there that drove her off.
A little bit of an attack here.
Yeah.
I think Ono has just smelt blood a little bit, so she's just backing her up to the edge, hoping she'll make another mistake.
Yeah. Join the party. If that's how you want to play it, I'm there right with you. Got herself in a bad position here now. And this last minute and a half, I can't believe just how poor Maria Perez has looked. She does not look like a world medalist, like an experienced competitor on the world circuit. It's just drifted from her.
I think all the hard work from Ono has paid off now, and I can see that Perez is going to get the third penalty here. So like you say, it's almost, she must know.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is we do, don't we? At this level, you know whether you've infringed or whether you've been pushing the limits and the boundaries, and she definitely pushed the boundaries there.
This was not the best performance from Maria Perez. Drained at the end. She had the golden score period, which is a kind of reminder, hey, you know, you've got another shot here. But it didn't happen.
Well, Ono doesn't know quite what that's all about. Needs to...
Ono wants to make sure that she leaves the tatami showing her opponent respect. So she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to leave until she's had a proper bow and a bow off from Perez and go racing off and celebrating. That's not her way. So she's tried to show as much respect to Perez as possible. And then she's almost gone over to say, look, you know, you okay, put an arm around or something, but Perez is distraught. Maybe she recognizes that. Maybe she spent some time training in Japan and she knows her.
You never know.
Knows the background to it.
You know, we often see people that have success, how they handle themselves. And one of the most important situations is how they handle themselves when they lose. Isn't it? But that's what we pick up on, and we pick up on it time and time again. If they walk off, if they throw, you know, their dummy out the pram, you know, if their reaction to it all is evident because the camera is on them.
Well, if you want to know about how to deal with defeat, no better person to ask than me.
or me at major tournaments. Here we
Well,
go.
a major tournament too. Right, coming up next, we have the final of the under 70 kilo category. Arai Shizuru of Japan faces Marie-Eve Gahi of France. It'll be Arai in the white judogi, Gahi in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Everardo Garcia of Mexico. Neil.
Well, I'm going to put it on the line here, right, because I know that they fought each other once before. Arai Shizu was the winner on that occasion, but I think that Gahi, if ever there was a moment, ever there was a chance and to win a major world title, this is it. She has stepped up. She's definitely 2 steps higher than she's ever been before. So if there was a moment to take that step, this is it. And it's all about, isn't it, at this stage of your career, of breaking that glass ceiling, taking that step.
Yes, this is the time for Marie-Eve Gahi, as Neil said, to step up and take the world title, because she's up against the current world champion. So she has to take it from her. It's not another person in there. It's the world champion. Red back patch and all. Here it is.
Yes, all world champions here wear the red back patch. Gold back patch is for Olympic champions. All the rest wear the rest. And so that's what she is fighting here. But watch out for Gahi. Oh, now then, that's going to be a Wazari. Straight away takes her back. Arai just wasn't quite there with that attack there, and she gets taken back onto her side for a Wazari. Look at it. It's not quite of the balance. It doesn't have the direction, and Gahi takes her onto her side.
She was hardly into it before Gahi was responding.
No, exactly. And like I say, it's a different lady out here. Gahi now has taken a step up, and I think that she comes out. Every contest that I've seen her come out with, she has known that she's going to have a chance of winning it, you know, and you can tell. So now it's up to Arai. Oh, she's done it again. Now then, was that a score? Oh, she's all over her, and she's absolutely tearing into her. Yes.
Yeah.
You would say that, wouldn't you? That's the way to go. And she's just got to be a little bit careful. She's not over-exuberant here. She is fighting the world champion. You wouldn't think so.
Best direction for me is forward. She's let it look a little bit, loose going back. Over the hip. Or the makikomi, I think.
Yeah, and I think Arai just a little bit reluctant there to grip up. She doesn't know what to do with her. She really doesn't know what to do with her.
Yeah, because as soon as she gives her that right arm, it's the space that Gahi wants to fill. It suits Gahi perfectly.
Yeah, like I say, it's knowing that you have the chance, knowing that you can do it. Uchimata! Oh, no, that's a Wazari. That was an overthrow. Beautiful Uchimata there. Beautiful Uchimata there from Arai, and she's taken her over, and she's got the hold down. Oh, my goodness me, what a match. And she's done it. Wazari Wazetti Ippon. Gahi will have to go again now. She was totally dominant, wasn't she, there? And Arai can't believe it either. Wow, what drama in this final.
It looked for a moment as though Gahi was going to blast Arai off the tatami. And Arai must have been thinking, what on earth is going on here?
She definitely thought it as well, without a doubt. But you've got to say that was pure class from Arai. And the tears say it all, don't they? They really do. She was a little bit frustrated, but that was superb stuff from Arai. Arai retains her title, her world title, and, well, against what we thought.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought for sure, and, well, the way they started there, we thought Gahi was definitely going to come out just blasting her way through to the world title. But Arai showed her absolute class.
I was in the process of just adding a little bit more money to my bet.
Yeah, well, you know what? What do we know?
And then Arai just...
Well, we don't mind being proven wrong.
No,
if,
not like
if
that.
something happens like that and somebody makes you eat humble pie, it, you know, that such is it, you know, that's the way it, the cookie crumbles. But this lady here proved us wrong. She just came back. She showed absolute skill, absolute class, and that was absolutely amazing.
That was a punch-up.
It was, wasn't it? Starts off with the Surigoshi, then the Uchimata, and, well, takes her over onto her back.
And she can't escape.
Yeah, well, gets the Wazari there, but she's already in Tati Shiho Gatame.
Yeah.
She just needs to hold her for 10 seconds down there, and it's all over. One attack, Uchimata, 2 attacks. Overthrow, gets the Wazari for the overthrow, just climbs over there, and, well, she couldn't escape, could she? Because Gahi was in the hold.
I know there are a few people who just joined us for the final block. So welcome to you. Hope that you've caught all the medal matches, including that final, because that was a little bit special.
It was. Well, Gahi of France in blue came out all guns blazing. She blasted the reigning world champion over for a Wazari. She looked like she was just going to rip into her again. But the skill and the class of Arai Shizuru of Japan, the reigning world champion, she did a double attack into the hold down, got the hold down, and, well, she won the contest and retained her world title.
And it's one of the most competitive weights, the under 70 kilo category, but the Japanese are taking at the moment. They've got, you know, the double world champion here in Arai, and the current Olympic champion, who's now retired, is Tachimoto Haruka. So they've had the better of it, despite the fact that there are so many good people in that weight category.
Wow. Well, we've got to come back. We've got to try again now. We've got to go again. Here we go.
Well, we come now to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 90 kilo category. Nagasawa Kenta of Japan faces Tot Christian of Hungary. It'll be Nagasawa in the white judogi, Tot in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Nedim Bayat of Turkey.
Well, I didn't see Nagasawa up there.
We didn't get the personal picture of him.
No, we didn't get that, and I'm wondering whether he's injured or whether he's going to be competing.
Well, there
Looks
goes
like
Tot.
he is.
Yeah, he's in the back there.
He is.
Well, he just had missed him in the shot.
That's it, yeah. I'm glad about that. So we want to see 3 really good fights here. 2 bronze medal fights in the under 90 kilograms category and 1 absolutely amazing final. That's what we want to see.
The supporters from the Sumitomo are still wiping the tears from their eyes after the Arai contest. There's Nagasawa and Tot.
Well, they'll both be disappointed that they weren't in the final. Of course, any losing semi-finalist, you know, you kind of expect, well, you know that you've got a chance for the big one, but then you've got to pick yourself up, fight for 3rd place. But you have to do it. Sometimes the hardest one to win. Ah, and look at that, that's going to be a score straight away. Nagasawa, Toth just pulled him in, tried to get close. Look how he just went onto the front leg there, and that is never a good thing because, especially with an Uchimata man, Uchimata, Nagasawa takes him over one-handed.
You were talking about that yesterday, about the number of people who have begun to develop this one-hand entry.
Well, one-handed, I mean, of course, we know that Koga, he had that one-handed Cianagi. It's because they wouldn't let him get the sleeve. And then he started to make it work tremendously well. And of course, if you've only got one hand on, you've got to go at some stage. Uchimata again, Nagasawa. Left-handed Nagasawa, Toth is more right-handed.
Yeah, he kind of gave him the arm round the waist.
Yeah, he brought in the physical contact. The contact is, you know, it just worked perfectly. Now here's the situation. Going to a standing position there, you can still throw from it.
Two Ungvari brothers side by side there. Miklos and Attila.
Now he's got his arm over the back and tries the left Sianagi instead there, Toth.
It's a long old drag, that one, wasn't it? Not
It
quite
was.
the explosive power where you get right underneath your opponent that we're accustomed to from Toth.
Well, he can go left, Toth. We've seen him do the Marotti Sianagi left. We've seen him go right as well. He must be finding it difficult against a lefty. There's the left. Definitely a little bit out of sorts in this competition. He'll look back on this competition, I think, Christian Toth, and just think that it wasn't quite. Yeah, he's had an injury, hasn't he? He's had a rib injury, and it's definitely meant a difference. The problem has been, of course, it's not so much the competition, but it's the training that you can't do.
Just the single Rosari against Toth at the moment. Could still come back. Doesn't look as though he's that interested in working on the ground, so that option appears to have been, you know, taken out the equation.
Yeah, I think he'll be settled standing, that's for sure.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Toth go down all guns blazing.
Nothing to lose, is there,
Yeah.
really? Then you just you get to the stage into the last minute now, and let's get on with it. Let's see if we can get this back. But sometimes, of course, as you come forwards, you leave yourself open.
He's the kind of fighter that's going to go for it right to the end.
Oh, now then, that's going to be a Wazari. Oh, and he does. He really does. He changed it a little bit then, and a big Kosoto there against Nagasawa brings it back to all evens. He just changed the direction completely there. That was brilliant stuff from Toth. Wow.
That is, you know, verging on the ippon there. We've got the landing from one side. This is the reverse.
Look how the hips come forwards here. Well, I thought for sure,
Yeah.
for me, was Ari, you know.
Yeah, you see, super slow motion is one thing.
I think there was too much time,
Yeah.
and they're going to keep the Wazari.
Yeah, I mean, clearly when you see it in the super slow motion, it's Wazari. Because you get the landing, then you get the slow push down, and that, for me, is Wazari too. They
Yeah, well,
had
they-
a look at it anyway.
They've said, haven't they, that if it lands on the side, rolls onto the back, but it's got to be continuous.
Yeah.
Then you can get the ippon.
Good score. Good call, Wazari.
Wow, all evens then, and could possibly go into golden score. He wants it again. It's funny, isn't it? Because that leg forward there has cost him dearly, because it cost him the Wazari, but it also cost Nagasawa there, because he wrapped round, changed his direction completely and scored off it.
Two things here. The Toth has a rib injury, so he won't want to stay on the mat for too long. Nagasawa hasn't had it taken out of him as yet because he doesn't like to be on the mat for too long. And under normal circumstances, you'd go for Toth because he can go for longer periods of time. Just with the injury and with Nagasawa not having had a tough first 4 minutes, you know.
You never know, do you? I mean, Toth looks down and out, and we've seen him so many times. And his head goes down, you think, all right, this is it, and then he'll pull something like that out. And he's contending now. Something's going to happen.
One more explosive action needed, and Nagasawa has got to be careful that he doesn't do something silly and think, I'm going to go in there and grab him.
Well, I mean, it'd be the worst thing he can do here. I think, okay, if he's leading inwards to your favourite technique, but don't go into pickups with him.
Yeah, and don't go hunting for it. Because, you know, you're walking onto Toth's favourite technique almost.
No, exactly.
The Seoinage, yes, but definitely the pickups, that's in Toth's area.
Well, another great fight. This is a battle. We've seen some wars today in the under 90 kilogram category.
Toth is Shido free, by the way.
Yeah, that's Shido on the board. Can make the difference. Even if they got one Shido each now, then Nagasawa would have to change the tactics. Oh, almost Uchimata. Sheldon here, out of his seat. I think the Uchimata, the strength of the Uchimata had him going there.
I was on the end of it.
Great stuff from these two. Another Seoinage there from Toth. Not quite the rotation that he needed there. Well, Nagasawa now. Let's see if he can dig in. We know that Toth can. He's going to go right-handed with that Seoinage. Oguruma Nagasawa. Well, I think the longest golden score that we've had has been about 11 minutes. I'm not sure, but I think we had one cadet and one senior one. And it was just people attacking at the right time to prevent the penalty. And these two, you've got to say, they keep on doing it. That was another attack there, strong attack. Klaus Glan there on the left there with the great Yamashita.
Just sitting behind him, yeah.
Tries again for the Kosoto.
Work once, let's have another bash.
Well, again, hitting both flanks, not just hitting the same way all the time. And that's when you get your action-reaction. Nagasawa coming the same way all the time. He has got a Sori Kamigoshi on the other side as well.
Yeah,
now that's going to be a
unlucky.
penalty.
Yeah.
Unlucky, but you still got to take them with you. You've got to have a grip. And everybody knows it there. You know, the whole of the Hungarian squad know it.
Yeah, I say unlucky because you could see the thought process, but it didn't work.
No, no. I mean, you know, it was just one of those things that he didn't have a strong grip. Sure, it wasn't absolutely intentional. There's a good technique there from Toth. 2 hands on this time. And they can hardly stand up, these two. This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Needs some action from Nagasawa that Toth takes over to make it that little bit easier.
And again,
see,
he's rotated round again without taking his opponent with him. You know, it's one thing attacking, but you've got to grip up. Well, you know what?
Gets away with it.
He gets away with it was the same kind of attack there, it really was. Nagasawa gets the second penalty.
Almost the Ashiwaza.
Wow, what a contest this is. A real battle here. You can hardly stand up. And for a referee, I mean, I don't know if these are the best.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
it's been taken
Yeah.
over. That's going to be a score.
Yeah.
It is a score. It was slow
Yeah.
motion. Toth could hardly stand up, could he? He just couldn't.
Yeah, we're not in that position of being able to comment as spectators, because we're not. You know, we're here as commentators, and it doesn't matter which way you think the contest is going to go or how you would like it to go. You just have to call it as you see it. And unfortunately, it wasn't the strongest of attacks. We know when the attacks are countered and they're taken back, you have to score them.
And the other thing is that Toth knew it as well. You know, I mean, when you put in attacks like that, he put in a couple of attacks that were not quite with rotation. And then, of course, he puts in an attack that is weak, slightly off balance. And, you know, of course, Nagasawa takes him backwards onto his back. It was very, very slow, and it wasn't the strongest, was it?
No.
But nonetheless, he gets the score.
Nagasawa Kenta of Japan takes the bronze medal from Toth Christian. It was a good battle, and it was, you know, way into the golden score period. Real disappointment for Toth there, but given the background and the lead up to the World Championships, where he was suffering an injury, and like you say, couldn't train as much as he would have liked to, this was not a bad result, although I wouldn't go and tell him that now.
No, probably best not to, and choose your moment. He did well, Nagasawa. You know, credit to him. We haven't credited Nagasawa, but I think that Nagasawa did well. And the reason he just stayed with it, the same as Toth, you know. I mean, Toth brought it back from a Wazari down, and there was last kind of ditch effort, wasn't it, there, really, from Toth? And he kind of knew it had gone away from him. He didn't have really good control of the arm, and then when he went in for the technique there, he just gets taken back.
Right, we've got a second bronze medal coming up shortly. That one features Edward Trippel of Germany. He'll be up against Axel Clerget of France. Neil can tell you a lot about Axel Clerget because he's been taking a close look.
Well, Axel Clerget has again, I'm talking about wars here. We've had absolute wars throughout the whole under-90s competition. And Clerget's just been battling away, you know, all the way. But I'm really interested here because I noticed Edward Trippel a little while ago. And for me, Trippel is a dangerous little contender here. And Trippel has got one or two special little techniques that he does. And it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't see a little surprise. And but Clerget, you know, I'm telling you, as far as heart's concerned, he's got a heart as big as, you know, you can ever imagine. And he'll be digging in here, going for it.
Well, there's a look at the two fighters. It'll be Trippel in the white judogi, Clerget in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Vladimir Nutsubidze of Georgia.
Well, they've never fought each other. We can see there no head-to-heads here. The first time they've ever have, got hold of each other. But Trippel is one of the new group of young Germans that have come through from the men's team, and I can tell you now, Richard Troutman doing a good job with this young team. They got a world champion last year, they got a world bronze medalist yesterday, and they got a possibility of a medal here. Trippel against Clerget. Clerget here has the biggest heart, he really has, non-stop. He hasn't got reverse in his repertoire, but watch out for this one because he will just wait his moment, and he's got one or two little tricks up his sleeve.
I remember when I was first told about Edward Trippel, it was one of the German team who said, you know, look out for him. I think that must be close on 3 years ago now. Just bobbling, you know.
Oh yeah, well,
There he is.
He is. I'm telling you, it's and you know the thing is, it doesn't look as if it's dangerous. You know, the situation is dangerous, but it is. And I hope he doesn't take that the wrong way if he looks at the replay. But I've been watching him very carefully. Triple in white, Clerget in blue. It's to do with balance, isn't it? You know, you watch somebody and they have a special balance. We watched it in the under 48 kilos with Billadid, didn't we? She's very tall and very rangy, you could say, but has a very special balance.
Again, Clerget with problems with the fingers. It happened in the previous contest.
Yeah, all to do with the gripping. And, of course, once one of your fingers pings out, you know, or you pull the ligaments in the finger, of course, it'll swell up. You'll have all sorts of problems, especially if you hook them in and then they pull away really sharply. There's nothing worse.
Yes,
And Wazari straight away there for triple, just waiting for it.
Surprise!
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's what you said at the beginning. He's got a few surprises.
Just a little, and again, like I said, it's to do with the balance. You know, it's a very odd recorrection of balance, and you know, looks a little bit as if he's off balance, but he isn't.
And Clerget is halfway through this thinking, I've got him here with Makikomi.
Yes, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, he gets turned.
Well, Clerget will feel that this is just a little bit strange. You know, sometimes when you get hold of somebody, a certain person, and you can think, well, this doesn't quite feel right. And remember, I had that with the Mongolian opponent that I used to fight, and it used to, you know, it just didn't feel quite right. So you have to do other things. Oh, he's got the strangle.
My goodness! Well, how many times has he done that? Yeah.
Clerget got the strangle. What a shimmy was, and what a time to get it. Well, he felt that wasn't quite right, and well, that's twice now, isn't it? We've done that, and Clerget, hats off to him, and he just managed to get the shimmy waza, and triple, who was a Wazari ahead there.
One of the things we were talking about was the speed with which Clerget transitioned from tachiwaza to newaza, and I think you may get an example of it here.
Well, we're definitely going to see how we got into that. Triple went down, and Clerget knew he had to do something, because it certainly, whatever was happening in tachiwaza wasn't quite happening for him. Clerget comes out, the other bronze medal winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more fight to go, the final till 90 kilograms. We would like to ask you, please stay after the finals for the medal ceremony.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, though, could it?
No, it absolutely couldn't. You're a really great guy, a hard trainer, and always the nicest of people. This man's going to come back, I think.
Exactly. I was just about to say he's young enough to have, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots at it.
Yeah.
Once more, going to have
very
a look at
neat
that.
little shimmy waza here, there. And just look how he gets into it there. The leg goes over the top, and what a variation there. Just manages to get the leverage there. Clerget of France with a well-rehearsed move there, and he manages to get the shimmy waza, and that smile absolutely says it all. Well, it starts off, doesn't it, going for the Sangaku, then it turns into the shimiwaza, and that head going down there. He'd already got the hand in. The hand was nice and deep, and he could see there that he was looking up at the referee. Please, he said, call the ippon. He's submitting, and the shimiwaza was well and truly on. Brilliant stuff. What a well-rehearsed move by Clerget. Clerget wins the bronze medal. One more to go, and day 5 will be finished.
And then we've got the 2 awarding ceremonies. We've got one more contest to bring you, and then the 2 awarding ceremonies. I know a lot of people like to wander off or drift off once that happens, but it's nice if you can stick around and see.
Stick around with it, because they deserve our attention.
So coming up next will be the final of the under 90 kilo category. It's Ivan Felipe Silva Morales of Cuba. He faces Nicolas Sherazadishvili of Spain. It'll be Silva Morales in the white judogi, Sherazadishvili in blue. Here's Neil.
Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? World ranked 18, Silva Morales coming into this, but the Cubans don't do that many of the IJF events, but certainly Sherazadishvili, world ranked number 3 when he came in, so he was ranked away from the main people, but he's had a great run through. They've fought each other once before, and they've got 1 apiece. So this is a little decider. World final, that's all. Min Sun Cho there in the middle. She's been a world and Olympic gold medalist herself, so she knows a little bit about judo. She's refereeing this match. Should be an interesting match.
And recently joined you in the International Judo Federation Hall of Fame.
She did indeed, and well deserved, wasn't it? And a great honour to be a member of that, I have to say. I don't really know which way this is going to go. This is going to be very interesting. You're going to have 2 different approaches here. Silva Morales, Sherazadishvili here in blue, tall, rangy, and he's going to want to use that to great effect, going for the world title. Uchimata, Silva Morales. 2 times, and he doesn't like it there, does he? Sherazadishvili doesn't like it. And Silva Morales straight into the attack. President there of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Visa, and of course the great Jean-Luc Rouzier, former world champion, and the vice president. Is it the vice president?
The general secretary.
General secretary of the International Judo Federation now. Got to attack at some stage, Sherazadishvili. He'll have to go in. Doesn't want to chance it. I think that when he does go in, it's going to be a big one. Left against right, and I think just looking at it now, I get the feeling we're going to get some kind of movement away from the big technique if they throw it in, to try and get some kind of Tewaza hand counter, some kind of Sukeshi. They're both looking for the same thing. Now, here we go. Oh, he's taken him over. It's exactly what he's done there to get the Wazari. Silva Morales then goes into the lead. That is exactly why Sherazadishvili didn't want to go in. He really didn't want to commit himself. You could see he felt the danger there, and the one time that he goes in there, he gets countered. He's in again. Oh, very, very close there. And Silva Morales trying to do the same again. Well, he'll want to get that back. Sirajdashvili, he won't have a better chance than this to become world champion. But Silva Morales, exactly the same. I mean, they're both of them not surprise finalists, but certainly they have done very, very well to get to the final here because it's so competitive in the under 90 kilograms. That left to right stance is what this is all about here, because I can tell you now, Silva Morales could still come unstuck here if he doesn't do it right.
Inside the last minute here, the lead is Wazari for Silva Morales. Sirajdashvili with a bit of a job on his hands.
Yeah, I don't think that going the same way, I was going to say, is the right thing to do. He gets the Wazari back, he switches it. So that change in direction actually paid off. Nice little twitch there. Silva Morales goes over. Wow, 20 seconds left on the clock of the first 4 minutes. 4 minutes for men and women. And it's one Wazari each on the board. So the both of them absolutely evens. No penalties on the board whatsoever. And they're both going for it. So it's going to go into golden score. World final, under 90 kilograms. Well, I don't know which way this is going to go. I said that at the beginning, and both of them have had the most amazing run through. Now, they've both got the grip they want. What's going to happen now? Almost gets countered there by Silva Morales. Sirajdashvili needs the other hand on. Trying to take that sleeve off there. Sirajdashvili just takes it off so that he's got control. Now it's going to happen. Something's going to happen here. Both going for the same thing.
Sirajdashvili looks as though he doesn't want to lose. It's different from I want to win. He's just that little bit too cagey. He's waiting for Silva Morales
to make a mistake.
To make a mistake.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Got to risk it now.
Yeah, I think really it's got to be 100% in as well, because either one of them will take advantage of it. Uchimata here, Silva Morales. Starts to open up. Uchimata Kouchi. Oh, they've gone outside the area.
But you see
Brilliant
what I mean?
stuff.
He's responding to him rather than saying, OK, I'm going to have a go. He's just waiting that little bit too long, I think. And, and Silva Morales is dangerous.
That's it. The one time that he did take the initiative, of course, he gets countered.
Yeah.
Now he has the sleeve. That's the ideal opportunity then, when you have the sleeve to go in. Got the sleeve again. Drops Cianagi, needs to get the rotation. Can't afford any mistakes now. Well, they've been going in with the big guns. Now they're just trying the small ones, hoping that they'll work. And both of them now starting to flag a little bit. Arm over the top. This could be it. Silva Morales. Now then. Uchimata! He's got it! And Shrasdishvili has done it! Spain have a world champion. He is the world #1, and now he is the world champion. Wow. Well, that was the first time, Sheldon, wasn't it, that he actually took absolute control of it and went for it.
I'm going to go for it. For me, he had enough weapons to be the aggressor. But he'd waited, and then he decided, I'm going to go for this.
Well, he did, and I've got to say, it's the first time I've looked at Silva Morales, and his whole demeanour was different because he was tired. I think he was tired, and he'd kind of worn down. And it was just the ideal opportunity, wasn't it? Shrasdishvili there to go in for the big one. We'll have a look, I'm sure, from 5 different directions how he did it. But he gets the ippon in the end.
All the Spanish fans and a good number of Georgian ones in the arena on their feet.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of Georgian support because obviously his roots are from Georgia, but he's always represented Spain
all the time.
So he is Spanish, believe me, he is. But the name, of course, would probably give us a clue.
It suggests that he may be Georgian.
That he may have Georgian roots. But what a performance from him. The most consistent fighter at under 90 kilograms, and that's why.
Dear friends, we will have the first awarding ceremony after these highlights. So once again, please stay with us.
Well, the Georgians would have been disappointed with Beka Kviniashvili going out early, and then, you know, there was another Georgian in there, Ushangi Margiani. Okay, they didn't feature, but for them, it won't matter now because Nicholas Sherazadishvili has come away with the world title, and they know that the background, you know, the family and everything, and he speaks Georgian, but he, as Neil has said, totally Spanish. It's not as though he grew up in Georgia learning his judo in Georgia. That all happened in Spain. So Spanish with Georgian roots.
And, you know, I was saying he was the world number. He's world #3 coming in here.
That's right. That's high.
Kolya was the #1. But one of the most consistent, and of course now he is the world champion. Fantastic stuff from him. Look at the hips there and the leg there, just an afterthought, but no, he carries it through, all the way through. Wazari Awazeti Ippon. And what a win for him. That says it all. That fist up there says it all. Just a readjustment of balance. I think the first time that the Cuban had actually stayed where he was. He wasn't moving. He just about had enough. I think he'd given it his all. Shrasdishvili then is the new world champion.
And he does look a lot like Alexander Kukolya.
He does.
The two of them, he really
absolutely
does.
So excuse me, Alexander. We do get carried away, don't we, in our jobs?
Well, what a finish.
What can you say about that picture there? It says it all again, doesn't it, really? You know, they've just gone to war together, and we've seen so many battles at this tournament.
Well, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 70 kilo category, and just as we were sneaking in that information about Sherazadishvili being the first male gold medal winner for Georgia, Francisco Garrigos, for Spain, Francisco Garrigos did win the junior world title. We were talking about Anchang Rim, first time on the podium the other day. Anyway, the first of the bronze medals goes to Ono Yoko of Japan. There's a silver medal for Yuri Alver of Colombia. The second of the bronze medals to Yuri Alver. The silver medal goes to Marie-Yves Gahi of France. The gold medal goes to Arai Shizuru of Japan, who retains her world title that she won in Budapest last year.
Well, she retained it in style, didn't she? She really did. And it was an amazing match. Gahia, we thought, was going to really threaten that world title, and she went ahead straight away. But credit to Arai Shizuru, who really dug in and brought it back. She'll be disappointed, but I think that she'll dig in and make sure that next time she gets even closer to the two-time world champion.
Alvear manages to raise a smile. He's always quite deadpan. Arai, a little bit understated at times, and maybe people could, you know, miss her. She just come under, you know, under the radar. But a second world title, and now the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIPs and judoka.
Resimler ve idmançılar hatıra çekim için merkeze devam oldu.
understated, I'm not saying underrated, understated fighter. No, you know, bells and whistles or anything about her. She just goes about her business, back on top of the podium and sharing the podium again with Yuri Alve, who took a bronze medal last year as well. Marie-Eve Gahi stepping up from 5th place last year to take a bronze this year. So improvement
to take a silver.
Sorry, silver.
Yeah.
You know, improvement for the French fighter. Leaps and bounds. Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 90 kilo category. And the bronze medals go first of all to Axel Clerget of France. Sorry, yeah. And to Nagasawa Kenta of Japan. There's a silver medal for Ivan Felipe Silva Morales of Cuba. But the gold medal goes to Nicolas Sherazadishvili of Spain, who wanted to hang on to Juan Carlos Barcos a little bit longer, but the chief was off, wasn't he?
Wow, what a great moment, for Spain. It really is to have the Spanish at #1 in the world, you know, and that's a great moment for Sherazadishvili as well. Japan, of course, still clearly in the lead. France second now in the medals. South Korea have gone third in the medals, and then we've got individual medals, gold medals by Iran, Ukraine, and now, of course, Spain. Brilliant World Championships we're having. It's action all the way.
Judo Federasyonu şeref zamanda affedilen Chicago Paralympic şampiyonu Azerbaycan Paralympic Komitesi vice-prezidenti İlham Zekiyev.
Olympic gold medalist presenting the mascot.
Yeah, I've got one of those, haven't I?
You have got one of those.
Thanks very much. You know, that was very nice. I'm sure that my granddaughter's going to be absolutely
love it,
over the moon when she takes hold of that.
You're going to tell her where it's from, of course.
Yeah, of course,
absolutely.
Yeah. Legend.
Oh.
Ilham Zakiev was presenting those last prizes. And now the national anthem of Spain.
Wow, absolutely brilliant. After 5 days of incredible judo, and well, today's been just manic, it really has. Japan's still in the lead, we know that, but the rest of the world, they're absolutely chasing. We've had some really big surprises today, some of the top fighters not even making the final stages, and we've had quite a bit of drama too. But we've had some incredible battles, and that's what's been so good today. Tomorrow's another day, though. Join Sheldon and I on day 6 at the same time. From both of us, it's goodbye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we will start at 10 o'clock with the 6th day of the World Judo Championships. Men under 100 kilo and women under 78 kilograms.
Kolejny ciąg sabah yarışları